planned on doing. Check it out, dude. So I just screwed this in here to see kind of how it worked. This would be like a sliding. It should be fine. Of course, when you're working with tin, you got to be careful.
Check out my new filter. I just got this.
Get more of these guys, Because these freaking tree roots.
Yeah, that hurt.
Got the first round of my laterite steel lang bricks. What do you think? Hey, thanks for tuning in and watching the video. If this is the first time you watch my videos, then that's cool. If you've been watching them all the time, then that's badass. And today I am up to no good again. I'm waiting on another pulley for the roof slide to, and I figured out that because, one of the roof slide deals with the pulley is, it's about the serviceability also. It's like if something goes wrong, can I get up on the roof and fix that, right? Well, at the end over here, it's not going to be a problem because the pulley is going to be external out there, and the pulley will be external over there too, but the roof will, the room is sealed and stuff. So it's like, what do? Do I hang the rope down, punch a hole through the wall, and then let the rope hang in the wall and do this? So I was like, I don't think that's gonna work because it's got kind of, I could put a box on there or something and protect it from outside elements or something like that, or protect the room from outside elements or something. But it's kind of got to be right in the middle where the window is. So it would have to be the pull would have to be below the window. And so what I thought is that I would just let it hang on the outside, and then when I want to open the roof, I just open the window, grab the pulley, and did it like this, and then close the window, whatever. Sounds reasonable enough with the least amount of effort, so that might work. But today actually this first thing I did was I just walk around the farm, kind of inventory stuff, see what's going on, inventory of the mind. But what I did was I took a net that really, it's a kind of a canal net almost. I call it a canal net, and my wife had bought some time ago and never really, I think she tried to use it once in the pond or something like that. But it's one of those nets that are like, it's a circle, then it goes and it has another circle, and then it goes as another circle. And the end, I tie off the end because you're going to untie it, let all the fish out, whatever. So I tied it up, and the front, and I'll show you later maybe when I just set the net in the canal. So hopefully by the end of today or something, there'll be something in the net because the water's flowing through the canal this morning. But the front of the net has two big skirts that go like that, and with two, and it's sewn on the end. So you put a stick through the sewn parts, and then you put the sticks on the edges of the canal, so that everything has to come down the skirts and goes right into the hole. The hole also has a secondary bag that's like this. That makes it difficult for them to come back this way. And then it goes to a second hole that also has a secondary bag that makes it even more difficult to come back, so they wind up stuck in the very back of the net. And then when I go to check it, see if there's anything in there, it'd be easy enough to just pick up the sticks, pick up the net, and then untie it at the end and see what I got. If you've watched some of the really old videos in this channel, the channel's, how old is the channel? I guess, shit, I've been here almost 5 years, and I think we started the channel that time ago. and I got over 600 videos. So that's 100 videos a year. That's like, you know, 10 videos a month almost, whatever. But anyway, in the beginning, I had a badass bamboo net that I bought out at the border of Myanmar and Mesot, and I put the bamboo net in there, and right away almost I was catching stuff. I was catching the shitload of the Asian pond turtle, or just a common turtle. It's like a red-eared slider almost. And turtles would get in that, and then of course crabs, and some snakehead, but mostly I think it was turtles and crabs and stuff. So maybe occasionally another small fish, those kind that have the black spot on them. So I'm anticipating that today's net, I'm anticipating that it'll probably have just crabs, because every time I walk along that canal, I do see them kind of moving. But with the water moving smoothly, there's a chance to have fish as well. And the turtles, though, those Asian pond turtles, man, they're fairly aggressive, and they haul ass. And those my earlier videos, if you saw them, did you see the turtle races? Were any of you guys watch my turtle races? I caught them, and then when I was still building that house over there, I laid out like my metal beams or something like that for like 4 lanes, and put them all in there, and told everybody, yeah, pick your winner, man. Had turtle races a few days in there. That was pretty fun, especially if I catch four turtles in one time. I'd be like, what? That was cool. But yeah, I should put more nets in the thing. I like catching stuff out there. The turtles, I just let them go. Actually, I let them go in the pond. Chuck them in the pond after I'm done playing with them. I was gonna actually, in this, and if you're following the history of this thing, when it was previously, and before I tore it down and rebuilt it, I think I did a dry pour in the middle a little bit, and then I was gonna make it kind of like you know, not an aquarium, but like, you know, a place where you could, you know, put turtles and crabs and all that shit and let it run around. Yeah, that didn't work. I think I was putting water in there and it was leaking or something. But anyway, today, now the continuing saga. My wife, and I mentioned it in her earlier video, because I needed to build, well, I was going to put a Tupperware over my water pump over there. But my wife reminded me that, you know, we have a bunch of old tin laying around, so why don't you just do tin? So I did do that. I actually cut up a bunch of tin. This sheet was actually, this leftover tin was exactly this wide, which is pretty much almost exactly what I need. And then I cut it in 6 pieces. 1 for the top, and actually the 2 sides have to be tall, so 4 for the sides, and then, or wait a minute, do I need 7? I just thought of the sides this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I might have needed 7. I only had, this thing was only as long as 6. Yeah, we'll see. I might really not need it on that end anyway. And that might even be better to have the plastic end open so that, you know, it doesn't get unusually hot. But what I'm going to do is, in my scrapping, this piece of metal here, I unscrewed it already. Kind of. This was actually from my neighbor's house. This was also in a video. My neighbor built a what do you call it? He built a roll-up garage door for his house, for his garage, and this was like a panel that was, you know, blocking part of it or whatever. And then he decided to redo that make a new style or wider one, and so we didn't need these, and they were chucked over there. I'll take that. So there was another piece that I also had used for something else, but I'm glad now, because this piece, I don't need to make the box for the pump, or the shelter for the pump. I don't need to, you know, make it super heavy duty. And this this metal is fairly small. It's like, that can't be 1 inch. Oh no, it's probably a 1/2 inch or something. But looks like I need to take these screws out a little more. I don't need this. Wait a minute, I missed one. Although I probably could use that for something. Initially I brought that out here. I was gonna use it as the form for the cement thing I have to build over here, but now that this steel, I just cut it. There's enough steel here to make the box frame that I need to make, and I'm not gonna weld it or anything. I think I have enough of these. I'm gonna use the metal screws to just assemble it together. Hopefully it won't be too difficult, because oh man, when I'm you know, when you're pushing through for metal screws, they don't just cut right through the metal and get in there, man. You have to push them, and a couple times the tip will, you know, some of the tips are not as sharp or not as hard as the others, so they flatten out right away, so it's not cutting in, and you're trying to push to make it cut more. And oh my god, I feel like my right arm is swollen bad, practically from doing all that the other day before yesterday. Actually, I did a few more screws, and I ran into like 2 of those that were right down. And oh my god, that whole old shoulder thing. It's an old shoulder injury, you know. But anyway, we'll get to cutting and assembling my little pump shelter. That's one thing I'm doing today, other than I did my little net. But what I'm gonna also do, 'cause I'm tired of flipping, is my wood deck here that I made. Walkway. I did insert it here into that C-frame steel, although it came out over there, but I inserted it here, but I didn't really bolt it down or anything, and this is like this, and so it's all kind of, you know, whoa, floppy, and it's a little bit, you know, unstable. But if you look at that is the old track from my hat up here, right? That's the track with the A-frame in, or the A angled iron in it. And because I welded it in there so many times, I can't get that out of there. I'm not gonna be cutting that. But that thing is actually almost the exact same length. And of course I have the other one. So I'm gonna take all this wood out and proper balance 2 rails in here. I don't think I'm gonna need to stick it in there anymore. Maybe I'll put that on top, and no, I don't know, maybe I will. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna do 2 of those, that way when you step on it, it doesn't flip. And then I have to actually go buy more metal screws if I'm gonna, I'll have this, you know, on this side, right? But I'm gonna tell you, it is not easy putting a metal screw through that one. The galvanized, fair enough, but that black steel, freaking iron or whatever it is, I don't know if I can do it, because there are there are like 40 pieces there. I'd have to do 80. I'd have to do 100 drills at least. Brutal. I don't know. Might have to figure out a different solution for that. Damn, man. And one of the other things I'm going to do, I did this morning. Remember those plants I bought? I'm going to bury them here. I don't have any extra dirt or plant food right now, but I put these here, and you can see pretty much looks dead. And my wife reminded me, because you didn't water them. Well, it rained a few times, but she's probably right. I should have been saturating it every day after I got it. But now I did. I mean, I did have one bag of you know, good soil mixed with manure or whatever. And so I'm doctoring them. I think I might be able to save those two. These should be all right. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this pile, clean this area up right here, and then right here I'm gonna make a fireplace. I'm gonna bring my if you remember from my, what's that, the bamboo pallets that I had to take down. Here's a dead fish right there, probably from the net yesterday. But yeah, I figured it'd be all right, because you know there's nothing real worried about. I ain't worried about this tree burning, whatever. I ain't worried about that tree neither. And I have, from that pond house, I have 24 of those long, thick, you know, what's it called again? You know, the old bricks. God, man, losing my mind, I'm telling you. The old Sila Lang bricks. And so I'll make that maybe into the fire ring. It'll look like, well, two purposes really. When I first initially thought of it, I thought it in terms of decorative. I thought of it, oh, if I stack that up in a circle there, it'll look like an old well. You know, like an old well, which is cool. But, you know, then I'll find some other flat brick to put around the outside and make a nice hearth for the fireplace. You know, that's what I really want to do. So I want to get this done. I'm going to say, oh, it shouldn't take that long, and it will. And then the deck is next. So I got a pump shelter. The deck is next. I'm monitoring my net. I'm gonna, did I miss something already? I'm gonna bring those bricks over here, but I can only carry one brick at a time because they're big, thick, and heavy. And there's 24 of them over there. So that means 48 trips. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I'm done with all that, if I'm done with all that, I'm gonna take my drill over to the bamboo palace over there, and I'm gonna that thing has probably 500, you know, hex head nuts in there, or bolts in there, that I, you know, put it together with, because I have to disassemble what's left. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd at least disassemble the part where the stairs are, and then drag the stairs over to this corner of the pond and put the stairs in the pond. Kind of the same way I did buy another staircase a while back, and I put it into that pond off of the side of the house, which has worked out pretty good. They're not rotting. The water, it's been submerged. With the rising and falling of the water, there's like, it's either 1 step or 4 steps or whatever that are in the water. on any given time, and there's no rotting going on. That's been, I don't know, it's probably been 2 years, I'm gonna say. Oh, that's right, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to finish the stairs. Remember, I needed to make what I planned on doing. Check it out, dude. So I just screwed this in here to see kind of how it would work. This would be like a sliding. I figured maybe I'd put another bar here. That way it kind of caught in there and it would slide and slide. And then I could just slide the, and I initially had these put underneath the bottom, and then it would just slide over, you know, slide back and forth. But that didn't work, because if I put those balls on the bottom, then the thing will slide out towards me. So what I decided, I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these off, and I'll go ahead and just make this taller. I'm gonna actually put another, this isn't enough room here for another stair. So I'm gonna put another stair here, that of which I'll have to weld, of course. And then I'm gonna extend this and have it go straight over to where it just kind of goes over and hangs on here, you know. So I'll have them maybe, I don't know, probably well, it's got to be extended out to at least this far, because you want the right angle for the stairs. So the piece that goes underneath there, over there, probably going to be, you know, closer to 20 inches or something like that. And then you just take it, you know, and plank it like that, whatever, plank it like that. That's probably the better solution, so that you know, it can be stable. It's not too heavy. My concern is that it was too heavy for like my wife to move, you know, because obviously I don't want it stuck in the middle. The idea is I put it in the middle, so, you know, I can get up and clear the 6 foot in the apex, right? I don't have to hit my head getting up there. But I wanted to be able to move it over so that I could be out of the way, you know, while you're in there or whatever. But we'll see. I might still have a rollable solution. I don't know. Let's get to work. See what I can get done. What do you think? How many things do you think I'm going to get done today? In my spirit of trying to do everything. So it's this. What's this? This is 1. That's 2. Fireplace is 3. That's 4. Stairs is 5. I still need to go buy. I need to go, or I'm gonna ask my wife if she'll do it. Go up the street and get like 3 bags of 3 more bags. 3 for, I think it's 3 for 100 baht or 4 for 100 baht. The bags of soil, so I can shore up those plants more. Anyway, enough talking. Get to work. Back at you.
Well, scrapping that together, that should be sufficient. Just gonna just plop that over there and it should be fine. Of course, when you're working with tin, you gotta be careful. Bastard. Anyway, let's get her over there. So I can get onto this deck over here. All right, back at you. Alrighty, hey man. Check out my new filter. I just got this from Lazada. Of course, I probably should have got it about 5 years ago. All fumes, all mold, all everything. It's a couple $100. It's badass. Feels like I'm breathing from an oxygen bar. And it's got a fairly unique strap. Oh my god. You know, it kind of grabs the whole head, plus in the back, and it's easy to pull tight. It feels real tight. It goes all the way under the chin. It's a half mask, so instead of just the face, you see earlier today I had my surgical mask on, but this thing, yeah man, should have got that a long time ago. But now anyway, I just had lunch, a little kimchi jjigae, and time to pull up the boards, so let's get to it. Well, at least there's no snakes. We'll have to resituate these bricks to support the beam better. Get my level out, make sure it's level. Let's see if I can't put them back in place properly. Whew. All right, man, let's do that. Get back at you. And if I'm gonna do this right, I need to level each individual brick, because before it was just kind of shored up under here. You know, I kind of leveled it out that way, but I'm dropping it down a little bit so that it's like one brick thick. I can spread out the bricks better underneath the two bars. But yeah man, that means a lot of digging on this side. Individual digging. And the soil, the dirt here is really good actually. So I might be able to use some of this dirt for those plants over there. I anticipate now, because of this dirt, ouch, that I'll get more of these guys. Ah. I'd love to have a worm farm. You know, I tried, but those are hard to do, man. The soil's got to be just right for them to thrive and multiply. Shit. No. Yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare. But anyway, let's try and do it and get back at you. Yeah, Starting to remember why I didn't want to dig down. Yeah, because these freaking tree roots. I already dug and hit them over here. Looks like the foundation is deep enough to where this started over here kind of, and it hit it and it turned back. And now it's going like this. It's probably all along there, probably the whole thing there. But I gotta chop it, I gotta cut it. It's my only resource, or only thing I can do. I need to chop it out anyway. If it gets real big, it probably might go underneath the foundation, crack it, but phew, damn. You know, see him again. So simple to do this. No. And I dropped the damn bar on my leg and my foot. Dang, that hurt. All right, back catch. Yeah, that's one side. Back breaking. That was at least an hour. Now, round two. Yeah. Well, what did I have? I had like 5 things I was gonna do today. I'm on number 2. It's got to be, I don't know, hell, 3 or 4 o'clock, something like that. But anyway, I mean, I got the track going here, but as I'm trying to sort it out, dude, this is 2 brick high in order to level that out. Yeah, that hurt. God damn it. How did it happen? My battery died right there. Anyway, I was saying I stepped, you know, everything's all uneven. Right? I stepped on one of the bricks, it teetered off, and when I stumbled, my toe just ripped right up the side corner of the brick, just ripping the flesh right off of my foot. And I started to kind of keep working, but then it was bleeding a lot and started sticking to my damn thong, my flip-flop. Yeah, battery again. Anyway, I dumped it out and there really ain't nothing in there, man. There's a whole shitload of snails and a bunch of these little fishes. Soon to be big fishes. Anyway, I'll probably put it back in there. Oh, my toe is wrapped, man. I can't do that. Maybe in the morning. But I charged my battery a little bit. It still said 1% when I got done. I charged it for a good 20 minutes. And it still said 1%. What the hell? But in addition to while I was charging that, I recharged myself and kaboom! I redid the deck. That was my shot. Just need to. And I also got the first round of my laterite ceiling bricks. What do you think, man? I decided if it's right, I have a dolly, so I don't have to do them one at a time. But you know, pulling the heavy bricks through the gravel is not fun either. But I'm gonna try and get another load of bricks. Maybe I can do them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 24. That means it'd be four runs. I just did one, so I kind of do 3 more, maybe. Anyway, I think I asked my wife, I told her I need more dirt, so I think she might have took off on the scooter to go get more dirt for this, more you know, food soils. All right, well, yeah, let's go get the bricks, man. See if I can't get at least those 3 things done today.
couldn't get to the stairs, man. Nope. It's probably 5 o'clock now. And when I was working with all that wood, you know, I was pulling it up and moving around and everything, and there's ants over there, somewhere in there. Ants filled up my glove, man. Bit me like 100 times. All right, let me go get some bricks. I'll get back at you while I plug this in. And look at here. I found an ancient laterite well right here on my property. Who would have thought? You know what? I think I'm gonna make a fireplace out of that. But yeah. All right. So I got some things done. Wrestled with the net a little bit. Kicked my ass with the decking, planks, and oh yeah, I built that pump shelter, and I did my what do you call that? Yeah, my laterite, soon to be fireplace. Got to put a hearth around it, something else, probably some other. Maybe I use red brick for that. Did some planting in the morning, and now the sun starts to creep through the trees as it sets here on the Thai farm. So hey, if you watched the whole video, then let me know what you think of my daily activities here. And yeah, thanks for watching, and keep watching. I get back at you with more action from that side of the Thai farm.